Loneliness and disease. The silence of the apartment was only interrupted by an old clock. The clock was making the same ticking noise for hours, as if it had stopped just a few minutes ago. The owner of the apartment, a young woman, was trembling in her bed. The disease was slowly consuming her. Her eyes were looking at her own face, reflected in an old mirror in the corner of the room. Her face was covered with the effects of the disease. There was a note on the edge of her bed. It said, "Go to the hospital." The woman struggled to get up and took the note. Hospital visit. Woman started walking towards the hospital. Along the way, people around her threw strange looks at her. When the woman arrived at the hospital, the corridors were empty. Only a few lights were illuminating the corridors. As the woman slowly walked through the corridors, she began to hear strange sounds. Behind the doors, she heard faint whispers and screams. Dark corridors. The woman got lost in the corridors. The corridors looked like a maze to her. A shadow appeared behind a door. When the woman opened the door, she found herself in an old operating room. In the middle of the room, there was an operating table. A corpse was lying on the table. The woman recoiled in horror. However, the door had closed, and she was trapped in the room. End of the nightmare. The woman was alone in the room. The corpse was looking at her. Suddenly, the corpse's eyes opened, and it reached out to the woman. The woman woke up with a scream. She was trembling in her bed, covered in sweat. The door of the bedroom opened, and the owner of the apartment, a young woman, entered. The woman breathed a sigh of relief. However, her eyes fell on the note on the edge of the bed. It said, "Go to the hospital." The woman trembled in fear. She quietly cried in her bed.